Hello everyone. How is everyone doing on this fine morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on your time zone? I hope everyone has been having a great Saturday. My Saturday has been pretty good. Haven't done much except chill as usual. Because, I don't have to do work this week, so I've been just chilling in bed as usual. Doing not much. Playing a bit of piano. The usual stuff. Let me quickly check if everything is working and live. So let's check. Yep. Seems to be good. Seems good. But yeah, I hope everyone stays normal. Let me go ahead and switch over to the space for the Unbound scene. And also open up a space for the Unbound. So yeah, today is the last day of practice. Meaning today would be... we will be doing the last bit of practice before we will do the full stream, the full speedrun of it on Sunday. And that's gonna be pretty fun. Can't wait for Sunday. Of course, there are still a few sections which we should go ahead and practice. And so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. For example, we will still need to do practice for chapter 5, because we haven't done anything of chapter 5. Let me just check if we have any notes for chapter 5. Chapter 5, sure enough we do. We have some sections we need to practice for chapter 5. So we are going to be doing that. And yeah, we're going to be doing quite a lot. Because not only is chapter 5 a very long, section, but, it's just pretty long in general. Like, there's not really much to say about it, except that it's just extremely long of a chapter. Like, I don't even know how long the actual chapter thingy is. Also, let me go and turn on some music. I completely forgot about the music. God, that is loud. My bad. My bad. Yeah, I don't even know anymore how long the actual chapter is. I completely forgot. How much is there which we do need to even practice? God, I gotta like remember some shit. Hello? What happened with my buttons? My settings? Oh, what? They got reset? I changed my my buttons recently because the way I've been doing the sprint and shift thingy has been very much really going against my hand. And so what I've done is I've put all of them a little bit higher up, and then I rebinded my left shift key, which is the auto mash button. I've remapped that onto my spacebar so that it's easier for me to actually hold the auto mash button while then also holding the run button for most or the entirety of the run whenever that's needed, while then still being able to do all of the needed buttons. So kind of weird that it did that, but hopefully it won't be like that when we actually do the run. I think we have to do all of the questions, right? Okay, yeah, we have to do all of the questions. And then what do we do afterwards again? Right, we go to the right because that will be the next riff which we need to go through. Man, excuse me. I've been just really coughing a lot recently. Don't know why. Like, I gotta get that checked out. Or like take something for it. Like, I don't know. Like meds or anything. Should probably do that. But at least it's nothing too major. That I like have to say, oh, we have to go and cancel stream, this and that. Like, no, it's not really that major. So I don't have to worry about it that much. And even then it could just be like a small little cold. Which, you know, I can take it. It's nothing too major. Like, I literally, like, went through worse sicknesses. Like, I shit you not. Like, some of you might have seen once with my 2-week, like, break because of how sick I was. And yeah, that wasn't very fun. Like, I have to say, that was not very fun, which I had to go through. During those, like, 2 weeks of, like, streaming break. God damn it. Oh yeah, fun fact. For some of you who don't know, I have bought the collector's edition of A Space from the Unbound, and looking through the art book, during one of the sections, specifically right here, from the looks of it, from the notes inside of the art book, it seems like they made it so that this entire like section over here is supposed to represent like the 5 stages of grief, at least from what I saw inside of the notes in the art book. Oh god damn it. I gotta get used to like the controls now being not the Y, X and Z buttons, but now A, S and D. Oh, you know, actually, while we're here, let me go ahead and actually turn on the music of the game, because the music right here is such a banger. Like, I love this song so much. Like, I constantly have it on loop whenever, like, whenever I just listen to the actual soundtrack. I just have the song on loop because I love the song so much. It's, like, so great. It's like one of the, like, it's such a banger. Like, if you haven't listened to the actual soundtrack of A Space from Unbound, absolutely do, because, like, there are so many amazing bangers inside of A Space from Unbound that I constantly have so many of them on loop. Right, now I can do the actual attack. There we go. Like, the song for that, like, fight section is, like, so fucking good. Like, absolutely recommend you give it a listen whenever you can, because it's so fucking good. Like, I constantly have that song, like, on in the background whenever I, like, work on stuff. Because it like, it hypes me up so much oftentimes. And it's just a extremely fun song in general. Okay, that's kind of interesting. You can't hold more than 2 buttons for some reason, or else it doesn't register your action input. There we go. There we go. Alright, now it's on to, like, the boss fight, right? Oh, this is gonna be a hell of a fun. Oh, what? Oh, I go over to the right. I was, like, so confused for a second. Like, huh? But then we have to go to the right for this section. Makes sense, I guess. But yeah, right, now it's on to the actual boss fight, the Raya boss fight, which, you know, it's pretty long. It's a pretty long fight. But one thing I learned about it, you can go ahead and take multiple attacks. And then once you get to the section, the next section, you can literally get healed. So of course you don't get healed here yet, but once you get out of the section, you do get healed. At least from what I saw during the speedrun video. So I'm kind of hoping that it's actually also the case that it's gonna happen here as well. And yes, you do get healed. Ooh. That is actually a major help point. Then that's like a major like time save then. Nice. So you can literally just take multiple damages. And then immediately go to the next section. It's actually kind of neat. There we go. Of course, we're gonna have to be very lucky and try to not get attacked too much or get hit afterwards. Because if we do get attacked or like take hits at some point, like too much, it's not gonna look very good. Because we will take too much damage and potentially then have to do the entire section all over again. Which, you know, is not really the best thing you want. And is definitely not great at all either. I don't even remember anymore, like how long was my like attempt during my playthrough. Like I don't even remember. So I know for this part over here we have to be more careful. Because there are more than 2 like cycles of the attacks which we need to go through. So after 2 attempts I do want to try and stay alive and don't take too much damage. Or else I'm gonna have to do all of the section all over again. Which, you know, is not gonna look very good. I don't even remember how many damage can you take before you actually die. I think it's only 2, right? If I remember, it's only 2 damage which you can take before you would then fall over and have to do the entire like thing all over again. So yeah, let's try to not take any damage afterwards. That would be good. Oh, I can use the spacebar as well to get through the mashing section. Okay, that's actually pretty neat. Good to know. That's gonna save a little bit of time extra. Like, gonna save a little bit of extra time. Hell yeah. It's actually good to know. And then we go through this entire section. Which... where we then go into the next space dive. We then go into the second time of space diving into Raya. Would this be the second time we space dive into Raya? I think so. Yeah, this would be the second time we would then space dive into Raya now. Huh. I think. I could be completely wrong. But I think this would then be the second time we space dive into Raya. And then of course, during the next section, we then have to go do... use the... like, door code stuff, the doors order, which we need. And then all of the other stuff, which we need to do. Wait a minute. I feel like there's one section that I'm missing. Right, there is one section that I'm missing. There's the section with the papers. Like, there's the papers section, which we need to do as well. Where we would need to then, need to look at the papers and the drawings. Actually, no, the papers and the drawings are the, like, door code. Right, the papers are just the door code. And so we don't need... So yeah, that's literally just the door code, which we would need. Excuse me. So yeah, not much anymore that we would need to remember. We have everything, I believe, just written down in our notes already. Oh, the key. There we go. I'm stupid. And I think now this would be where we would need to... Yeah, this would be like the paper section, where we would need to remember the actual log number, but we have that written down. It's 4, 5, 3, 1, 2, 7. And thank God it's not ING. Wow. So yeah, the only section where there's actually any ING involved is in chapter 4 with the cake section. Yeah, the only section where ING is actually involved, like once, would be the cake section, where we would need to figure out which cake we would need to cut with the pastry chef. Interesting. Of a father, of a mother, and then the child. This picture is also extremely cute, I have to say. It's such a cute image, like such a cute photo. Why does my fucking left eye burn all of a sudden? Fucking hell. Anyway, was there anything else? I think now it's where we would have to do the doors, alright? Yeah. Now this is where we will have to go and remember the order of the doors, of which we have those written down, thankfully. So we know that this door's first. The one with the wrench would be second. Then the goose with the crown is third. The snail one is fourth, so all the way over to the right. Then the cat is fifth, and then the flower one. So the middle is last. Gotcha. I don't think those doors are randomized either. I could be wrong. Should probably check the speedrun. And that is exactly what I'm gonna do. Give me just a moment. So speedrun. Let me load that up. Look at the speedrun. If it could load. So at the end section. So let's see where everything is. It seems It seems like it's not randomized either. Yeah, I think all of the doors are also just the same like ING. It's always the same on like where the doors are. Huh. So yeah, the only place where there's actually any RNG is the cake slicing section in chapter 4. Wow. That is actually kind of surprising. At least from the looks of it. Because in my speedrun and the one on the Speedrunner.com leaderboard, it was, what was it? 3-tiered triple layered chocolate cake with red cherries on top, and in the other person's speedrun it was 3-tiered alternating chocolate cake with red cherries on top. So it was a little bit different. But seems to be RNG. I could just be wrong though. They were different cakes, so they most likely were RNG. But who knows? Gonna have to check up on that. But yeah, most likely that cake section in chapter 4 is RNG. It's not really anything I most likely have to check. I already did check quite a bit. Like off stream. And from the looks of it, it is RNG. So yeah. And of course you can't really skip any of this. But it does, but holding the text mesh button does speed up the text from disappearing a little faster, so just gonna continue holding that down. And there's also a nice, and is like another like small little breakpoint where you can just take a small sip of your like water or anything. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And just did. Let's see, what other sections would there be which I would have to practice? I think the only few sections which I should probably still go and do practice on would be something like the end sections for like chapter 1 and chapter 2, because I did not practice those, thinking that I could just add those save files back in and then just play from there. But no, those don't work for some reason, which kind of sucks. But other than that, I don't really think there's much I would still need to practice. At least from the looks of it. Because chapter 6 is pretty much easy, and the only thing in chapter 6 you do is just walk around a little bit, go to the bridge, and then that's pretty much it. So yeah. And you can't run in this section. Like I am still holding the run button, and you might be able to hear it. Like Atma is not running. You just have to go at a medium pace of walking with Raya through all of those sections. But I don't think there's anything else for chapter 5, which I would need to practice. At least that's what I assume. There could still be something which I should still be practicing in. But I don't think there is. In the meantime, I can also go ahead and just like check out my stuff for a moment. Like go through my phone notifications because fucking hell, I'm getting bombarded with notifications again. Yeah, that can just go away. I don't really need any notifications for that. It's probably a good time to just turn off some notifications because there are some like apps with like notifications I do not even look at all anymore because I literally never use the app. I'm looking at Twitter right now because I got a notification and I literally see the news from Nexerto. The Hollow Knight Silksong trailer has suddenly been taken down from the Steam page, along with the meme image of "It's so over, we're so back, it's so over, we're so back." What the fuck? What the fuck is going on with Silksong? Oh wait, there was a trailer for Silksong? Other Steam changes have been spelled. Have dispelled the fan theory that Silksong may shadow drop on April 29th. Huh. Well. It's kind of a confusing time for Silksong fans, from the looks of it. Because they've been waiting for like ages, haven't gotten any news. Then they got news of Silksong in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. And now apparently the Silksong trailer has been taken down from Steam, from the Steam page. So it's so confusing. Like like it's funny, but I also feel kind of like I also feel kind of sad for all of the Silksong like enjoyers and like the people who have been waiting for Silksong for like years. Because quite literally, like there's so much happening like since the recent like announcement, at least for what it feels like to them. Like damn. Like, man, this has gotta be like a confusing time for like Silksong enjoyers. Excuse me. Oh wait. Oh god damn it. I wanted to go into like these settings so I can turn on the music because the music in this section is so fucking great. Like, the music in this section is so amazing. But god damn it, I was too fucking late. I can't go into the settings. Fucking. God damn it. But at least I can go into the settings now. So I can turn on the music for the next section. Because the music for the next section is very amazing and you do not want to miss it. Like, the music of the next section is so goddamn great. And it was the first song, and it's the first song in the entire game. It's like, it's just, like, this song is the first time you actually hear lyrics in any of the songs. And, yeah, it's like the first out of two places where you hear songs with the lyrics in the entire game. And it's also right at the end of the game as well. And it's so goddamn great because of like where it happens, that it just makes you want to cry. And I almost cried at this section. I genuinely did almost cry during this section during my playthrough, but I just barely held it together. And I don't want to talk over it because it's just so good. So enjoy this entire song in its entirety. I feel like I could probably play this, but I think I'm because I suck and I have not played this ever.
Please save me from my dream.
That's the best I can fucking do. The song is such an amazing banger. Like, I love this song so much. It's one of the it's one of my most favorite songs from the game. Alongside, what was it called? I think Mirror Battle, which is the one I recommended beforehand, and the other song which you will hear at the end, which is called An Ode to Life. Which, according to the credits, is assigned to Atmos theme. If I saw it correctly, it might be something else. It might be Raya's theme. I could be wrong, but it is assigned to someone's theme, if I remember correctly. And then Auto Life is also another like really great song, and would also be the second song with and I think the last song as well, containing actual lyrics inside the game. So quite literally, that song and the next one, An Ode to Life, would be the only two songs with lyrics. The first song which you heard in that section being called Within the Dream, if I remember correctly, it was called. Like that song is called Within the Dream. And then the next song which you will hear at the credits is called An Ode to Life. Two really great songs. Like very great songs. And also one of my favorite songs from A Space Unbound, alongside Mirror Fight, because Mirror Fight is just such an amazing banger. Mirror Fight I love just because it's such a banger. And those two songs because they're like calm, I guess you could say, chill, and are like doing two sections which make you feel like, which most likely will get a lot of people like emotional. Definitely get people emotional for Within the Dream, because that song is so great and comes up during the last section. Like it's during an emotional section right afterwards as well. Like, Jesus. And now we get to An Ode to Life. And right here, at this screen, is when the timer would stop. And that is where the run would end. And there's the song. So yeah, like Mirror Fight, Within the Dream, and An Ode to Life. Three really amazing songs, which I recommend you give a listen. They are so fucking great. And this song is definitely like a really great song for like the credits. It's like really great. And fits as well. Like the lyrics perfectly fit as well. At least in my opinion. As a credits song. And again, like, A Space Unbound is an amazing game which you should go and give like a try. It is such an amazing game with an extremely rich story, and is so fucking great. Like, I recommend, like, if you love Until Then, like if you loved Until Then, you will definitely enjoy Space Unbound. Or if you enjoyed A Space Unbound, you will also definitely enjoy Until Then. both games are like really amazing story-rich games, which I cannot recommend enough because they are so goddamn amazing. Like, for both games, the story is amazing, the music is amazing, like, everything is about those games is extremely great. And are both like really great, like I just don't have to say anything, pretty much. Like, both of those games are just so great that I just have to just tell you to play them. It's just, they're just too good. Both games are just way too good. Like, they're just, the games are like extremely amazing. Like, Toge Productions, Mohican Studios, like, amazing game which they created, and Polychroma Games also for Until Then, like, really amazing games which they created. Like, there's not much I have to say except just play the games yourself. They are so goddamn amazing. Oh, right. Because this is a loaded, because I made right. Okay. I completely forgot. So so for those who don't know, like, after we finished playing through Space Funny Unbound, back then, when we finished playing a Space Funny Unbound, there was one singular section, like, there was one achievement which I forgot to get. And so off stream, I recorded me getting that achievement and then, like, getting, like, to the ending over here, because this section you would only get if you got all of the achievements. So, like, did all of the, like, stuff that were on the bucket list of Atma and Raya. So it is a secret, excuse me. So it is a secret ending. And I have recorded all of it, and because I wanted to make a edited playthrough of A Space When Unbound. And I still have that in the works, though I haven't been doing anything with that currently because I've just been so busy with everything, alongside now with the whole, like, speedrunning the Space Funny Unbound practice stuff for Sunday. And yeah, this is like a secret ending which you would get, which you normally do not see at all unless you have gotten all of the achievements. So for those who have not played A Space Funny Unbound yet and want to experience the entire game for yourself, be sure to skip ahead. If you are watching the VOD, skip ahead, because this entire thing would be spoilers to the true ending, I guess you can say, of The Space Funny Unbound. So yeah, alright, my drink is empty. Let me go and get my second bottle out of it. There we go. There's that second bottle. But yeah, this entire thing is about, like, this entire true ending section is about Raya coming back to the abandoned subway train, finding out that the authorities removed it, and then going back to the river where Raya, where Atma drowned, giving him the book and the flowers, giving him some flowers and their book. And yeah. Essentially, like, chapter 5 and then the ending of chapter 6 is essentially us seeing Raya go through the 5 stages of grief, essentially. And now it actually also makes sense that in the art book of A Space of Unbound, they did write down for this entire like chapter 5 like section and chapter 6, like the ending, the true ending of chapter 6, are all based around quite literally like the 5 stages of grief. Like I think I'm let me go ahead and find on which page it is. And of course I'm not gonna show the book. Like I don't wanna go and like leak the stuff on the book. Because that is of course something you can also buy on the Steam front page or in the Steam page on their Steam page as an extra DLC thing. So I'm only gonna say on which page I found it, and this is the only place, and this is the only thing which I will say, because I don't want to leak it. Any like stuff that is also still available. So if you do have the DLC of to get the art book, if you go to page 212, you will see essentially in the bottom left side of that page that they even wrote down that it's essentially the 5 stages of grief, which chapter 5 and chapter 6 are essentially based around of, with the whole like Bosque and Admiral fight at the denial section, then of course the Raya boss fight being the anger section. There's bargaining. There's can't really like read it much, but yeah, essentially it's the 5 stages of grief, and then the true ending of chapter 6 is essentially Raya going through acceptance and moving on from what happened with Admiral, which is extremely fucking sick. I never knew about it until I actually saw it inside of the collector's edition like art book page. And only then did I realize, oh yeah, it is essentially just Raya going through the 5 stages of grief, and that's actually really sick to see. And hello there, I'm just gonna say, Paulina, welcome to the stream. I hope it has been going well. We are currently just practicing a lot of stuff for Sunday, because on Sunday I will do an entire speedrun of Space Unbound. And so for that I've been practicing this entire week, essentially like doing a lot of practice on a lot of sections to go and then do the entire game in one full run on Sunday. And we have essentially just gone through the last section to practice, which would be chapter 5. But I guess I'm gonna go through a lot of the previous ones again, because for example there are a few sections which I have not practiced yet. For example, like the ending sections of, I think it was yeah, for example, I haven't practiced like really anything during the Enter Cinema section, which I should probably practice, but I don't have any save files for it yet, so I would have to go through most of chapter 1 again. Then during the chapter 2 section, I think I did do everything for chapter 2. Yeah, I did do everything. I did practice everything for chapter 2 because I accidentally overwrote the beginning like save file for chapter 3, which kind of a bummer, kind of a bummer. It kind of sucks, but not really much I could have done about it. I was just being stupid and didn't notice it. Then I did the entirety of chapter 3 to practice. I did chapter 4 practice. Did I do the school rift? I think I did. Yeah, I did most of chapter 4, only like the ending section with only the cutscenes I skipped. Then of course we just have done now the entirety of the chapter 5 section and gone through chapter 6. So the only place where I would probably still have to do a little bit of practice would be in the Enter Cinema section, because we haven't done any practice for that section yet. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. But yeah, I guess I can already like go ahead and count this as completed, because we did is quite literally like, oh, that's kind of fucked. Hold on. Oh, nope. Can I... Let me go and do this. There we go. Okay, let me go and take that again. So yeah, we have done now making the practice saves, but they aren't really useful to us because we can't load into them. Like if we do try to load into one of the save files, they quite literally like don't work. The only ones that really work are the ones we actually make inside of the game, which kind of sucks, but there's not really much that we can do about it, except just have to do it, like just make practice files, or like make saves for places to practice, and then just do that. And we have practiced small portions, I guess you can say small, but it's more of like quote-unquote small, because we did essentially just do practice on each and every chapter in its entirety. Except chapter 1. We have to do more practice on chapter 1. So we're gonna have to go and do practice for chapter 1. Which is exactly what I'm gonna do right now. So once I finish my practice inside of chapter 1, then we can go right ahead and then mark it all as listed finished, and then we would essentially then be finished practicing every like section for A Space for Unbound. Or like the speedrun at least of A Space for Unbound. So let's go through all of the options here, so that we can skip right ahead and practice the cinema. Because, you know, we have not practiced the cinema at all yet. And we don't really have a practice save which we can use that is anywhere near where we need to go right now. So I'm just gonna go and mash through all of that. It's gonna take a bit till we get to actually the section which we need to get to. Which, you know, a little bit of a bummer, but nothing too major. Like, even then we can then probably still do a little bit of practice like off stream before the actual run on Sunday. So yeah, nothing too problematic. We just go through all of the sections and that's gonna be it. So let's see, do I still remember everything where of like places where I need to go? Specifically, like chapter 1 in general. Do I still remember the place where I need to go for chapter 1 in general? because I do not really remember that much, if I gonna be honest. At least if I remember correctly. Well, I kind of just hope that I'm gonna be able to remember a lot of the stuff. I certainly was able to remember a lot of the stuff for the later chapters, which I barely even looked at when I looked at the speedruns and checked for the routes. Nice. Okay. Now I got them. I was like so close to getting out of there without having to go and stop for a moment. But it's still pretty okay. Still pretty mid. Then of course we go through this section. Have to go and backtrack. Wow, that was a fast turnaround. That most likely has to have been like pretty lucky RNG. Yeah, even there, like fast turnaround for that dude. Like damn, that's pretty lucky, if I'm gonna be honest. Like most of the time they do not turn around that fast. So that's pretty lucky. So the only like sections where there's like any little bit of RNG is in chapter 4 with the cake slicer section for the pastry chef. So yeah, huh. Kind of neat, if I'm gonna be honest. Because that means most of this will not be like extremely RNG dependent on us, but will be all around remembering where we need to go and like which place we need to like interact with. So yeah, pretty good, not that bad. So of course we do all of this. Get the cat food for the little stray cat. In the meantime I can go ahead and check some of my stuff really quick. Because a lot of it, of course, is mostly cutscenes. Of course, there are some sections where there is a lot more involved than just cutscenes. But yeah. I wonder, like, I'm kind of curious if there's ever going to be like a major like skip at some point going to be found. I can imagine at some point there's gonna be like a major skip possibly like found somewhere, which could save a lot of time. Fun fact, one thing that I was kind of surprised about when I found out about it was that A Space for the Unbound was actually made entirely inside of Unity. I'm a little bit surprised about that. I'm still a little bit surprised about that because I thought, like, because I thought that A Space for the Unbound was made inside of like Godot or something. Because you know, some games like Until Then were made with the Godot engine. And so hearing that A Space Marine Unbound was made with Unity kind of surprised me. Because usually when I hear of Unity, the first thing that really comes to mind is like 3D games and not 2D ones. But then of course, it's kind of noticeable that it was made in Unity when you look at the prologue, aka the demo of A Space Marine Unbound. Because on Steam there is the full game, of course, and the prologue only version, which you could call essentially the demo of A Space Marine Unbound. And in that demo, oh, for fuck's sake. And in that demo, it is very noticeable by the movement of Atma that the game was made inside of Unity. But then, like, inside of the actual, like, full version of the game itself, you never notice. You would never notice that the game was made inside of Unity because the movement feels completely different than like any sort of like actual Unity game would. So yeah, kind of surprised about it when I found out about it. I wonder, is there a way you could unhook the FPS for games like Unity or stuff? I assume so, right? Probably. But I assume because of how Unity works, unhooking the FPS is probably gonna mess up like the game speed, right? At least that's what I assume so. Unhook FPS Unity game. Anyway, let's go over to the cinema now. Do all of that. Oh, right. We can't go into the cinema yet because we first need to go ahead and make all of the stuff for Admiral. Like getting Admiral, making the shelter for Admiral. Yeah, essentially just making the shelter for Admiral. And then we can go and then we can go to the cinema. Alright, let me go ahead and look at my notes real quick. So that I can check the answer stuff for the quiz section. Because to get the metal roofing materials, or like the metal sheets, you have to go through this this question thing. And for that, you have to go and answer like 2 questions essentially. For those, you answer August 17th, 1945. That's confirmation. And then just a random option. One of the 2 options. Then we can go ahead and take the old tin roof. And then that should be pretty much everything we need to get to make the shelter for Admiral. Because we have the catnip already. We have the bowl now, we have the pillow, we have the old roofing materials. And yeah, that's pretty much everything we need to go and make the shelter for Admiral. And then continue on with the game. It's now cat food. Pillow. No, not cat food again. God damn it. The bowl. There we go. We put it into a bowl. And then the old tin roof tile. To go make the shelter. But anyway. Now that's pretty much everything done. And now we can go into the cinema. Was there anything else afterwards? Chapter 1, check on answers and note them down. Okay, so for this little note section, I can go ahead and just take that out. Space up from left to right. The quiz answer section, we're gonna move upwards. Because that, of course, comes before the X code and other stuff. Which we would need to remember. And then we can go ahead and remove those spaces as well. Just make it a little bit easier on ourselves to see all of the stuff. And now we can go ahead and do a little bit of practice on the cinema section, right? I wonder if going with Manahati would be faster than going with the Cyborg Raptor. Kinda wonder. Should probably look at the run. Or the other run on the leaderboard. But I assume most likely that just mashing through all of the options is just gonna be faster.
Perhatian, pintu teater 3 telah dibuka. Para penonton yang telah memiliki karcis dipersilahkan untuk memasuki ruangan teater.
Oh, wait, hold on. Did you just hear the bell thingy from the announcement section? It quite literally was just the it was like the first few like notes of what was it? Of Within the Dream. It was the first 4 notes of Within the Dream, essentially. And also, yeah, as you might have seen, ING, a tiny bit involved with Raya going for the popcorn or not. So we have to get like a tiny bit, like, I mean, essentially like a tiny bit of like RNG to have Ryan not go and grab the popcorn too fast. Because if she does, we lose time because of that. Which, you know, not great. You kind of want to try and not do that. But as long as we just mash through the entire popcorn section, I believe we should just be completely fine though. At least that's what I assume, so I could just be completely wrong. But I don't believe so. Got the one. Alright, let me go and interact with this. Excuse me. Man, I'm like really tired today. At least there's not much which we will need to practice. And of course, we are nearing the end of today's stream as well. Alright. Like, there's pretty much only like a few more minutes of this which we would need to go and practice. Because the rest afterwards would be just cutscenes. If I remember correctly. So yeah. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and check who we could raid once we finish this entire section. So let's see. For the axe code, it would be 1991. So that's pretty easy. Just essentially 2 ups and 2 downs. Thank you for the good luck. I appreciate it. Yeah, space out from left to right. So we first go... No, we do not want to leave. We can't leave either way. So we space up into the left person first. Was there anything that I should remember or should do? I think it's just taking that... Oh. Interact. I'm stupid. Nope. Oh, no. Yeah, no. That was correct. Interact. And then take that down. Oh, bird. So that's the left person done. Oh. Did we get the broom? Oh, we did get the broom. Okay. So we don't have to go and interact with her afterwards. We then space step into the middle person. For which we use the broom on here. And then what else was there? I think we interact with the sparkly thing on the right? Yeah, to get the cinema door key. Which we need for the third person on the right. And then what do we use first? Okay, so we first use the axe and then use the door key. That's good to know. And then was there anything else that I should remember? No. No, it doesn't seem like it. Alright, perfect. That's that section then fully done. And then afterwards, the only thing afterwards would be to get Raya out of the cinema. go through all of the cutscenes over here, and then that would be chapter 1 fully done. We wouldn't have to practice anything else afterwards, that's good. So yeah, nice. Alright. I think that would be the end of chapter 1, right? So this cutscene... Yeah, I think afterwards that is chapter 1 done. So, kind of convenient, kind of perfect. Right? Yeah. Then afterwards we finish that chapter. And with that, I would say we're gonna go and finish off today's practice stream over here. Pretty good today, not gonna lie. We finished practicing chapter 5, finished practicing chapter 6, did the rest of practicing the cinema section for chapter 1. So we essentially would have practiced everything now. So we can now go ahead and check that off of our list of things to do. And yeah, we would essentially be fully ready to do the run on Sunday tomorrow. So perfect. Anyway, it's gonna be it for today's stream. We're gonna go and raid into Katsu. Someone who I haven't raided in ages before now. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me today. Tomorrow is gonna be the big day where we are going to be doing the entire speedrun of A Space for the Unbound, meaning going all the way from the beginning all the way to the end. And I can't wait for that. It's gonna be really exciting. So be sure to check out Sunday. And I hope to see you all there. Yeah, it's gonna be it for me today. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I will see you all tomorrow for the big finale of this week's practice marathon on Sunday. And with that, I'll say bye-bye.